I want to become one more of you. I want to earn the right to be one of you, so we can enjoy all together.
Liverpool played 6 friendlies this summer, but the scorelines aren't what matter. Because after watching Sunderland, Leeds, Wrexham, Monaco and a double header against Como, one thing has become very clear. Andoni Iraola isn't trying to make Liverpool a better version of last season. He's trying to make them a completely different team. In this video, we are going to look past the results and analyse the patterns. We will look at what Iraola is actually trying to build, how the new signings fit in, which youngsters are ready, and what the biggest concerns are heading into the Premier League opener against Newcastle United. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what we learned about every major Liverpool player this pre-season. Let's start with the biggest tactical takeaway. What exactly does Andoni Iraola want from this Liverpool team? Under Arne Slot, Liverpool were a team built on control. They wanted the ball, they wanted to dictate the tempo, and they wanted to smother the opposition with possession. Under Iraola, the word you hear most often from the training ground is faster. This is not a possession for possession's sake team anymore. Iraola wants verticality. He wants his team to recover the ball and launch an attack before the opposition can even blink. The press is higher, the defensive line is more aggressive, and the midfield is asked to do an incredible amount of running. It's a return to the heavy metal football of the Klopp era, but with Iraola's unique twists, specifically how he uses his fullbacks and his number 10. Throughout the friendlies, from the 4-2 win over Sunderland to the 4-2 defeat to Leeds, and the final 2-0 victory over Como at Anfield, we saw a consistent 4-2-3-1 shape, but it's a fluid 4-2-3-1. When Liverpool lose the ball, they don't drop back into a rigid shape. They swarm. The front 4 cut the pitch in half, forcing the opposition out wide, and then the fullbacks aggressively jump to trap the ball. It's high risk, high reward. When it works, Liverpool look devastating. When it fails, as it did in the second half against Leeds, they look painfully exposed. And at the heart of this tactical shift is one man, Dominik Szoboszlai. If pre-season is any indication, Szoboszlai is about to become the engine of Iraola's Liverpool. Last season, Szoboszlai was often used as a more advanced 8, tasked with creating chances and arriving in the box. Under Iraola, he's playing deeper in the double pivot, usually alongside Ryan Gravenberch, and he looks completely revitalised. Szoboszlai's physical intensity is a perfect match for Iraola's pressing demands. He has the engine to cover the ground, the aggression to win the ball back, and the passing range to immediately launch those vertical transitions Iraola loves so much. Against Sunderland, he scored one and assisted another, looking like a man unleashed. He even joked after the Leeds game that he's ready to play right back if Iraola asks him to. That's the kind of buy-in the manager needs. Could Szoboszlai become the midfield engine that defines this era? Right now, he looks like the most important player in the system. But if Szoboszlai is the engine, Florian Wirtz is the creative spark. Wirtz returned late to pre-season due to his World Cup exploits, but his impact was immediate. In his first 45 minutes against Leeds, he scored a brilliant goal, finishing off a flowing move involving Trey Nyoni and Jeremy Frimpong. He then scored again against Monaco at Anfield. Iraola is using Wirtz as a pure number 10, sitting just behind the striker. But Wirtz isn't just a luxury playmaker. He's being asked to lead the press alongside the centre-forward, cutting off passing lanes and hunting the ball down. When Liverpool win it back, Wirtz is the outball. He's exceptional at receiving the ball on the half-turn between the lines and instantly finding a runner. There has been criticism from some fans that Wirtz didn't always impose himself on games last season. But in this system, where the ball is moved forward much faster, Wirtz will have more space to operate in transition. He looks sharper, more integrated, and ready to truly explode. Speaking of exploding, this brings us to Alexander Isac. Isac's first season at Liverpool was disrupted by injuries and a lack of a proper pre-season. This summer, despite arriving late from the World Cup, he looks fit, sharp and hungry. Isac started against Leeds, Monaco and Como. While he didn't score against Como, hitting the post early on, he found the net against Monaco with a sharp finish. More importantly, his movement looks totally different. He's not just dropping deep to link play, He's constantly threatening the space in behind. Iraola's vertical system suits Isac perfectly. When Liverpool win the ball, Isac is immediately on his bike looking for that early pass from Szoboszlai or Wirtz. The chemistry between Isac and Wirtz is visibly improving. If Isac stays fit, this could finally be the season he justifies his massive price tag. But a striker is only as good as the service he receives, and in Iraola's system, the width comes almost entirely from the fullbacks. Enter Jeremy Frimpong and Milos Kerkez. Frimpong has been a revelation this summer. He played the full 90 minutes in the final friendly against Como, and Iraola specifically praised his defensive work as well as his attacking threat. It was Frimpong's driving run and cross that set up Cody Gakpo for the opening goal against Como. Frimpong is essentially playing as a winger in possession. His pace terrifies opposition defences, forcing them to drop deeper, which in turn creates more space for Wirtz and Szoboszlai in the middle. Is he definitely the first choice right back? Right now, it's hard to see past him. On the other side, Milos Kerkez is reunited with his former Bournemouth manager. Kerkez knows exactly what Iraola wants: aggressive pressing, overlapping runs, and non-stop energy. He had a solid pre-season, although a slight error against Leeds showed he's still developing defensively. But his attacking output makes him a perfect fit for this high-octane style. This aggressive fullback play, however, puts massive pressure on the centre-backs, which brings us to Virgil van Dijk. Can a 35-year-old Van Dijk still anchor a high line that frequently leaves him exposed one-on-one? Pre-season suggests he can, but he will need help. The recovery pace of the defenders around him is going to be crucial. Van Dijk's reading of the game remains unparalleled, and his passing range is vital for bypassing the opposition press, but he cannot be expected to chase down every long ball over the top. This is where the new signings come in. Ronald Araujo's arrival on loan from Barcelona is a massive statement of intent. The Uruguayan made his debut against Como, replacing Jeremy Jacquet at half-time, and he looked instantly comfortable. Araujo is arguably the perfect Iraola defender. He's aggressive, dominant in the air, and boasts incredible recovery pace. He can step out of the defensive line to intercept passes, a key feature of Iraola's tactics, and he's versatile enough to cover right back if Frimpong pushes high. It wouldn't be a surprise to see Araujo start alongside Van Dijk against Newcastle, but Araujo wasn't the only debutant against Como. Jeremy Jacquet finally made his first appearance in a Liverpool shirt, and he was spectacular. The young Frenchman not only defended with composure and aggression, but he also scored Liverpool's second goal, tapping home from a corner. Milos Kerkez called his debut amazing. Jacquet looks incredibly calm on the ball and aggressively proactive without it. While Liverpool might gradually introduce him to the Premier League, his performance against Como suggests he's ready to contribute right now. And then there's Victor Muñoz. The Spanish winger started the behind closed doors friendly against Como and was absolutely electric. He terrorized the Italian defense with his raw, unadulterated pace. While players like Gakpo and Wirtz prefer the ball into their feet, Muñoz wants it in space. He gives Liverpool a completely different dimension. A chaotic, direct threat that will terrify tiring fullbacks late in games. He might not start every week, but he's going to be a devastating weapon off the bench. But the biggest surprise of the summer didn't come from a new signing. It came from the academy. Trey Nyoni has arguably been Liverpool's player of the pre-season. The 19-year-old midfielder has looked completely unfazed by senior football. He dictates the tempo, receives the ball under pressure with supreme confidence, and plays progressive line-breaking passes. It was Nyoni's exquisite pass out wide that started the move for Wirtz's goal against Leeds. Iraola trusts him, and the players trust him. While he might not start the first game of the season, Nyoni is now firmly in the first team picture. He isn't just a prospect anymore, he's a genuine option. Other youngsters impressed too. Kieran Morrison scored a brilliant goal against Sunderland, and Rio Ngumoha netted the winner against Wrexham. Both look incredibly talented, but Nyoni is the one who looks ready for meaningful Premier League minutes right now. We also need to talk about Ryan Gravenberch and Cody Gakpo. Gravenberch has quietly had a very strong pre-season. Operating in the double pivot alongside Szoboszlai, he looks physically imposing and confident carrying the ball through the centre of the pitch. If he can add a bit more defensive discipline, he could be the perfect partner for Szoboszlai in that midfield engine room. Gakpo, meanwhile, has given Iraola a real headache in the best possible way. He scored against Como with a brilliant first touch and finish, and he looks incredibly sharp. Whether he plays off the left or as a central striker, Gakpo's versatility and intelligence make him a vital part of this squad. So, what does all of this tell us? What is the big picture? Across 5 friendlies, the patterns are undeniable. This is a team that wants to play fast. They want to press high, win the ball back in dangerous areas, and attack with ruthless verticality. The centre-backs are stepping high into midfield, the fullbacks are playing as wingers, and the central midfielders are being asked to cover every blade of grass. Is it working? In flashes, it looks breathtaking. The first half against Leeds and the performance against Como showed a team that can overwhelm opponents with sheer intensity and speed. But there are concerns. This is not a propaganda video. We have to be realistic. When Liverpool's press is bypassed, they look incredibly vulnerable. The defensive transitions are still a work in progress. Against Leeds, they completely fell apart in the second half, conceding 4 goals as set-piece frailties and a lack of defensive organisation were exposed. There are also questions about squad depth, particularly at centre-back. While Araujo and Isac are excellent additions, an injury to Van Dijk would still leave a massive hole in this aggressive system. And then there's the fitness concern. Iraola's system demands absolute physical perfection. Can this squad maintain this level of intensity over a 38-game Premier League season, plus the Champions League? We saw a lot of players returning late from the World Cup, meaning the squad hasn't had as much time together as Iraola would have liked. The system is still taking shape, and there will inevitably be growing pains. So, after watching the entire pre-season, should Liverpool fans be excited or worried? You should be excited. Because Liverpool aren't simply preparing for another season, they are fundamentally changing the way they play football. Arne Slot gave them control, Andoni Iraola is giving them their fire back. This will be a team that takes risks. They will leave spaces at the back, they will concede goals, and they will probably frustrate us at times. But they are also going to be incredibly fun to watch. The results of pre-season don't matter, but the patterns do. And after 5 friendlies, Liverpool finally look like they know exactly what kind of team they want to become. Let me know what you learned from Liverpool's pre-season. Which player impressed you the most? And who should start against Newcastle United in the first competitive game? Subscribe for more tactical Liverpool analysis.